Psychopathic here again. It's Bob, as you all know me by now. Just thought I'd post up something different on the old channel rather than a bit of Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3 or anything like that.
Here we are.
Well, I suppose I'll be able to talk. Hang on,
Asia's
just
best
a
kept
sec.
secret.
It's agency territory, right? US friendly.
Not anymore.
Mind you, I suppose
And
I
that's
can
why we're
talk
here.
and you can read the
Someone
subtitles. How
dancing
about that?
on
You might still be able to hear them anyway.
The old
I
president
really
was
don't know.
assassinated by the
I'm
new
watching this on
president.
the
Pandak
on the
Pandak.
Movie Maker and
His
talking
son.
on Audacity,
And he
so
won't pick
God
up the
knows.
phone.
We'll see
It
how it
doesn't
turns
sound
out at the
much
end. I'm
like
sure
a
it'll be
people
fine.
person.
Anyway, I was looking
He's
through
attempting to eliminate all
PlayStation
opposition.
Plus
Sheldon was
store
trying to figure out his
today,
agenda when he disappeared.
yesterday, and there's some
So,
cracking games
what?
coming out on
He's gone
PlayStation
dark
Plus
before.
Not like this.
for free
Worst
at the
case scenario,
moment. They're
he's
all
gone
old
broke.
ones. This is
So
Just
what's in
Cause
it for
2.
him?
There's
I don't know,
Borderlands on
If he
there.
has
What else
turned,
did I manage to get
you've
off
gotta
of there?
take him
I
out.
got
That's a bitter pill, kid.
what else have I got?
Sheldon taught me everything.
Dead
Which is
Space,
why you're here. You know his MO.
Infamous 2,
Can't argue with that.
Oddworld,
We gathered all available intel onto these memory cards. Marshall here will
Burnout,
download them onto your
Burnout
PA.
Paradise, Little Big Planet, Stupid Game, Ratchet and Clank,
Damn it! That's
Quest for
incendiary
Booty,
stuff on those
Stupid
cards.
Game.
They fall into
But
the
they're all
wrong
good
hands.
fun and they're
It's gonna
alright.
be one hell of a firestorm
At the
back
end
to
of the
water.
day, they're just part of the PlayStation Plus subscription. So I
Someone
don't
doesn't
know
like
whether
us.
I'll
We're now in
bother
military.
renewing
I
it when it
recognize the
runs
flag.
out, but
We
I
sold
probably
them
will
those
do. I
guns.
think there's a few things turn
Get
up
back
in there
from
that are
there.
pretty good. So this is a bit of Just Cause 2. I've never played the game. I just thought
running out of
I'd play
ammo
the first
anyway.
level and see how things went
Don't
with
wait
it.
up.
And just say hi to you all. And I think this is about the first time probably I've put something up on my channel that's not COD related. Oh, apart from the video about the car, obviously. So let's have a topic of conversation. A while back I did say to you all, or did I ask you all to try and have a guess. I'd had a major operation, and I asked you all for a bit of a guess on what I'd have removed or taken out, and I did reveal that, and it was my stomach. And I said I'd go into a bit more detail further down the line about why and what it's like and things like that. So I thought this is the ideal opportunity as we watch this silly man skydive there, and I'm trying to keep the crosshairs somewhere, and I'm chicken out opening the parachute too early. I thought, oh, I wonder if I leave it right to the very last second, and then I wonder if he'll die. But well, that means I've just got to re-record it again, so I didn't bother, so I chickened out there. So anyway, it all started back in the year 2004, I think, thereabouts, when I started to have some strange problems going on gastrically, a lot of heartburn, sickness in the night, and there was all sorts of yucky issues associated with that as well. It wasn't normal sickness by any means.
For such a
So I ended up going to a local GP, well, my local GP, who sent me straight to a hospital, who sent me straight to a place where they stuck a camera down my throat and had a quick look at me and found out that I had a massive ulcer inside my stomach. So they tried to treat me with antibiotics. You have a thing called a triple treatment that you take for a month, and it's supposed to heal up an ulcer nowadays, and after that everything's okie dokie and you can just go back to normal. So I took my triple treatment for the month, went back, had the camera test, and the ulcer had actually got bigger, much to the man who done the camera test surprise. So he referred me straight to a surgeon. Now, bearing in mind I'm pretty much at a loss why I've got an ulcer, and for me to be sent to be seen to be seen to a surgeon was slightly scary, to say the least. But I went along to the appointment, and the man who treats me, my consultant, I know everybody has their moans and their digs at the NHS, but my consultant is well, he's just a diamond. He looks like who's the fat one out of Laurel and Hardy? It was Hardy when it, or was it Laurel? Oh, I don't know. You'll know. Anyway, the fat one out of Laurel and Hardy. He looks like him, same build, and he's a really jolly man. And he's got hands the size of hams, You wouldn't think he was a surgeon in a million years. And the very first thing he said to me was, the very first thing, he didn't say hello or good morning or anything. He walked into this consulting room where I was sat in the hospital, and he said, I've got to take half your stomach out, what do you think? And they were his very first words to me. And I thought he was a bit of a joker, to be honest. I sort of laughed and I says, yeah, half your stomach, you know, you can't do that, like. And he goes, half your stomach's got to come out. He says, you've got an ulcer there and it's looking very nasty. He says, and we can't leave it, so half your stomach's coming out, what do you reckon? So you ask all the obvious questions like, well, if you don't have a stomach, you die, don't you? And no, you don't, because I'm still here. But that's the first question that goes through your mind. The second question that goes through your mind is, are you going to end up with wearing some form of waste bag, which is still preferable to die in, but it wasn't something I was actually looking forward to. And I've known people with these stoma bags and they live with them and that sort of thing, but if I could get away with not having one of them, I really didn't want one. So anyway, he said, no, it's not your intestines we're playing about with, it's your stomach, so you don't need one of those either. So consequently, I went for the operation. It took a little while to get sorted out, but I went for the operation, and he removed half my stomach. It was a long recovery process from that. It takes a long while for your insides to decide to get better. I was in intensive care for a week and in hospital for a long time. I think in total I was in hospital for about nearly 4 weeks, and then you had the recovery time at home. And consequently I couldn't work because I had a massive scar down the front of me with about 60, I think there were 63 staples in this scar. So you have to wait till everything's healed, and then you go and have another camera test, and they look and make sure that everything's all healed up good inside, and then off you go, sort of thing. Well, I went and had my camera test done by the surgeon on half a stomach that I had left, and they put me asleep for the camera test because I'm not very good with the camera test. I'm no good at swallowing the damn camera, makes me feel sick. So they put me asleep for it. So when I finally came round and woke up, he came round and stood by the bed, and he says to me, well, Bob, he said, had a look at your stomach, and he said that part of the stomach's got 6 ulcers in it. He says, so that's coming out and all. And at that point I really did laugh, because he's a bit of a joker, my surgeon. And he said, I wish it were. He said, I wish it were a joke, he says, but it's far from a joke. He said, it is coming out. He says, we've got no option. So that was all arranged, and I just thought, well, what the heck's going on at my age? I mean, I was early 40s at that point, and I thought, well, all my stomach's going. So I went back in, I had that operation done, and that one was particularly awkward for him because of the scar tissue from the previous operation. He had to go back through the same cut that he made in the first place and take the rest of my stomach out and re-plumb everything and try and get me in some sort of order. So that was all done, and then it was the intensive care business, the coming home, the laying about in bed for months on end, because it took a long time to get over that one. And I found out that I couldn't eat or drink anything without being, I don't mean this to sound awful, but without being sick. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't drink even a glass of water, I couldn't drink. So I was, at one point, my weight was 13 and a half stone. And I went down to, get this, 6 stone I went down to. I looked like somebody from a prisoner of war camp in World War II. So they were very concerned about this weight loss. They were giving me food by a drip straight down through a tube in my nose, which I hated. It was disgusting and it just made me feel awful. So he said to me, the only thing we can do is another procedure to try and stop you being sick, and that's to replumb everything. So it was another trip back to the hospital and a long operation, a really long one, pulling everything apart, starting again, replumbing everything, moving things around and trying to make a clear pathway so food could enter the body and leave the body without getting hooked up anywhere or caught on any scar tissue or anything like that. So that operation was done, and 5 days after that operation, to the day, I got peritonitis. And for those of you who don't know what peritonitis is, it's basically the staples and that they put inside me that was holding everything together failed, so all the waste products from your intestines went into your abdomen, so like all around your liver, your pancreas and everywhere else, everywhere it shouldn't go really. So peritonitis just poisons you basically, it's poisoning you from the inside out. The surgeon was called to me at 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning. They got him out of his bed at home. He came rushing in, had a look at me. My stomach looked like a football where it was all swollen up. And he said, we'll send you for a scan straight away. He sent me for that. I was scanned. By the time I got back, he'd already got the scan in his hand. The scan beat me back to the ward. So if anybody has an MRI or a CT scan and they say it takes 3 weeks for the results, it's a load of rubbish, because the results are there and then. You can get the results. He had the results in 5 minutes. And he said to me, well, I can see the problem, it's burst inside. He says, and I have to tell you, it's an extremely serious situation, this. And at the present time, he said, I estimate, and this is a scary thing to be told in life, he said, I estimate that you have 10 minutes left to live. And he said, I have to tell you that. He says, because, he said, that's how serious this is. He says, I can't get changed. He said, if I get changed, you'll be dead before I even get ready for a theatre. He said, I've run down to theatre's foyer. There's a man there waiting, a surgeon. We've pulled him out of another operation. He's going to do it straight away. He's going to take everything out, wash it all out, put everything back in. And they just took me, and as soon as I got into the anaesthetic room, I knew the anaesthetic guy because I've had so many anaesthetics, and he said, good night, Bob, and he gave me the anaesthetic. So as we were walking along, he was feeding me an anaesthetic, putting me asleep. And next thing I knew, I woke up in intensive care again, another trip in the intensive care, and I felt like I just felt like death basically. You can't describe the feeling how it was, but the guy, the surgeon, not my surgeon, but the surgeon who saved my life, he came round and he said I was extremely lucky. He said for us to be having the conversation was pretty much a miracle, because I was pretty much dead on the operating table. And that sort of changes your outlook on life a little bit, I tell you. Once you've been told that, when you was so close to not being here anymore, it makes things seem, some of the things you worry about makes it seem a bit pointless worrying about them really, when that can happen to you so quickly and we're so fragile. So after all that business, luckily it took an awful long time to recover from. I spent a lot of time off of work, a lot of time trying to learn how to eat again, how to drink again, having no stomach. You don't know that you're hungry really, you don't really know when you're full. You have to have a B12 injection every month, because the stomach is the only organ in the body that absorbs B12. And if you don't have a sufficient intake of B12, you get anemia, so you need a blood transfusion. So I have to have an injection every single month, and I have checkups about 3 times a year with the surgeon, just to make sure there's nothing untoward going on down there inside. And I've got a gallstone and the gallbladder needs to come out, but I'm putting that off at the moment. I've had enough of hospitals and operations to last me a lifetime, so I'm not rushing for that. So we'll put that on the back burner. So that was the operation side of things. If anybody's interested how you eat, I eat as a normal person now, same as you do. I don't have a stomach for the food to go. The food goes directly into the intestines, which can cause slight problems. If you have a massive great Sunday dinner and you think, oh, I don't know, I feel tired and I can have a sleep, well, there's a name for that. It's called dumping syndrome, and it's to do with your blood sugars altering because your body's had so much food put into it. Your blood sugars alter and it just makes you feel tired. Well, dumping syndrome is extremely pronounced in a person with no stomach, to the point where if you overeat, you can actually just make yourself pass out by overeating because your body just can't cope, and as soon as things calm down then you will sort of wake up again. So that's all a bit fun, trying to learn all that when you first start. And sweet things you have to be careful with. Ice cream, don't eat lots of ice cream and stuff like that. But I can eat a normal diet, pretty much the same as you. Can't eat oranges, not allowed to eat oranges, something to do with the white of an orange, the pith or whatever it's called. So I'm not allowed to eat that because that causes pain and colic and all sorts of horribleness. And there's a few other things as well that just don't agree with me. I managed to get my weight back up from 6 stone to just under 10. Surgeon says it will never go any higher, it's impossible. It does fluctuate now and again. Every month I'm weighed. Sometimes it's down a bit, sometimes it's gone back again, sometimes it's gone down again. But that's just something you have to learn to live with. So I look quite thin compared to what I used to look like. And the other downside of it all was, and this was a really nasty downside, I didn't like what the operation was in itself, but one of the downsides was being sick permanently for such a long time. I mean physically sick. It dissolved all my teeth. It didn't matter what I done, it just all my teeth crumbled. I lost all my teeth. So the NHS very kindly implanted all new teeth for me. And they told me that if I'd had to pay for that work to have been done, it would have been £40,000 worth of dental work. So I'm pleased I didn't have to pay for it. I got it all for free, gratis. Very nice. So I've all got nice implanted teeth, and I'll never get toothache again or anything like that. I've got a mouthful of I think it's titanium pegs and that sort of thing. So when the teeth aren't actually in, if the dentist removes them and takes them out just to check them, I look like Jaws off the James Bond, which is quite
Next time it's you on the ground and
so anyway, that's pretty much the story. So if you've any questions about it, it's a hard topic to cover in a video because there's so many things about having a major operation like that and how you feel and how you deal with things afterwards, emotionally and physically and things. So if you have any questions, just stick them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. And a word of warning to you all as well. If you eat a lot of vinegar, if you eat lots of vinegar on your chips or anything else, pack it in, because vinegar is one of the worst substances for your stomach that you can put in it, apparently. So I got told by my consultant and everything else, vinegar can cause you a big problem. So don't eat lots of vinegar. Little bits are alright, but just don't eat lots and lots of it, otherwise you'll be in problems. So anyway, that's pretty much that story. So any questions, leave me a comment, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Looking forward to Black Ops 2 coming out, waiting to see whether that's a success or a failure. I'm sure everybody will nag about it somewhere along the line like we always normally do. Good for a laugh though. So, a bit of a serious video, but then it was a bit of a serious illness, and I did say I'd explain it all to you. So it's Psychopathic signing out, and I'll speak to you all soon. Ta-da!